Hi guys, in this tutorial I'll show you how to easily track multiple VFX elements in your videos in After Effects. For this tutorial I'll be using a building impact clip and fire footage to show you how to easily place and accurately track them in your videos. If you'd like to download this footage for free, just check the video description, I'll leave the download links there. Let's begin. I'll start by clicking Track Camera, then expand the Advanced and enable Detailed Analysis for more accurate tracking results. Once the analysis is complete, I'll create two solids and cameras, since I'll be using two VFX elements. I'll place one solid where I want to position the Fire VFX, and the other directly on the building, where I'll place the Building Impact VFX. I'll also create one more solid on the car to track an additional element, like the saber effect for example. Now that all the solids and cameras are placed where we want them, we can rename each one to stay organized and easily identify which solid is linked to which VFX. The purple solid is for the saber effect, so I'll rename this layer to saber. The blue solid was for the building impact, so I'll rename it to building. The green one was for the fire effect, so I'll rename that layer to fire. In my case, the solids are too large, so I'll scale them down slightly to get a clearer view of the video. Once everything is set and the solids are in place, we can start tracking the VFX elements including the saber effect. I'll begin with the Fire VFX, so let's go ahead and drag and drop it into the composition. Enable 3D on the fire footage, then drag and position it roughly like this. However, the tracking won't be accurate this way. Let me quickly show you what it looks like. As you can see, it's not good at all. To ensure the Fire VFX is tracked 100% accurately, we can copy the position from the green solid and paste it directly onto the fire footage layer. Now simply fine-tune the position and adjust the size if needed. Once you're happy, toggle off the fire track solid layer and preview the result. As you can see, the tracking is now as accurate as it should be. Now let's move on to the next solid. I'll create the saber effect here. Let's create new solid layer. I will name it saber and then change the size to around 2000 by 2000 to make the solid size larger than the composition. Now let's apply the saber effect. First expand the render settings and change the composite settings to transparent. Next expand customize core and set the core type to layer masks. Now select any masking tool. You can use the ellipse tool to create a circular mask above the car like me. To track the saber effect, make sure to enable 3D on the saber layer. Then just like before, copy the position of the corresponding solid, in my case the purple saber solid, and paste that position onto the saber effect layer. Now let's quickly fine-tune the position and scale of the saber effect. I'll also select one of the presets to enhance the look. You can further adjust the glow and core settings, but I won't spend much time on that here. Finally, toggle off the saber solid layer and check to make sure the effect is tracking accurately. And as you can see, all my effects are tracking perfectly and look amazing. Now the last VFX remains, and I'm sure you already know how to track it as well. Let's drag and drop the Building VFX into the composition, enable 3D on the layer, and follow the same tracking process as before. For this building effect, I want it to appear behind the main building in the clip. First I'll toggle off the track solid layer and then check to make sure the building impact is tracking properly. Everything looks perfect, and now we can position the building impact so it appears behind all other elements and buildings in the video. First I will drag it below the saber and ground fire layers and then duplicate my main clip. Let's drag duplicated one above the building layer and then go to Effect Controls and delete the 3D camera tracker effect from it. To stay organized, I'll rename this layer to foreground. Next scroll to the beginning of the timeline, select the Roto Brush tool, and double-click on the foreground layer to enter the Rotoscoping workspace. Since I want to isolate the entire foreground including the building, trees, and car, I'll rotoscope the sky area and then invert the selection by enabling Invert Foreground/Background here. As you can see, After Effects has inverted the selection, so now we can simply click the freeze button and let it process. Before that, I'll refine the edges around the trees to avoid a rough or unrealistic look. Now let's hit the freeze button and wait for it to finish. Once it's done, we can close the rotoscoping window and check the result. Everything looks good. I'll just fine-tune the roto brush settings by increasing the feather to 15. Then I'll slightly decrease the shift edge and set reduce chatter to 100%. Hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching and like the video please.